Merry Christmas to you, MissionWay. I'm so thankful that you're going to take a few moments with me to spend reflecting on and worshiping and celebrating Jesus. That's what we're doing today. We're remembering his birth and the reason why he came, and so we want to celebrate him. Maybe you're watching this at the beginning of your Christmas morning. I'm so thankful that you put things on hold to do that. Or maybe you've gotten through your day and now you just want to end the day on a high note by celebrating Jesus together as a family, or maybe you're just watching this by yourself. Either way, so thankful to spend this time with you this morning inside of your home, worshiping Jesus together. I want to take a moment and tell you a little bit about my favorite part of the Christmas story. One of my favorite parts, that is. So I always love the part of the shepherds because there's so many things for us to learn from these shepherds who were outcasts, that the announcement of Jesus came to them first, and they went to see him and they spread the news of the birth of Jesus. But there's one particular verse in Luke chapter 2 that strikes me. And it's right after the angels had made the announcement to the shepherds, and then this huge multitude of angels show up and they're glorifying and praising God. And the shepherds see this, and I can imagine that initially, like as the angels leave and it's silent again in the field, and all you can kind of hear is maybe a sheep or two making a few noises in the background, I can imagine that they just kind of looked at each other and said, "What just happened? I mean, what just happened? Did you see that?" And they're like, "Yes, I saw that. Everybody saw that. I mean, this is crazy what just took place." And here's what Luke tells us they immediately did after the angels left them. It's in verse 16 of Luke chapter 2. It says, "And they went with haste and found Mary and Joseph and the baby lying in a manger." They went with haste. Now, haste is probably not a word that you use very often. When your child asks you, "When do you want me to clean my room?" you probably don't say, "Make haste." I mean, that's not a phrase that we use. And so to illustrate haste for you, I think maybe the most appropriate illustration, especially because it's me, is to have you imagine the hot donut sign at Krispy Kreme, okay? So when you are driving by and you turn and you see the hot donut sign and it's on, listen, I'm willing in that moment to sacrifice my vehicle for this. I mean, I have crossed over like 3 lanes of traffic to make sure that I get in the turning lane fast enough so I don't miss it, okay? Everything is out the window at that point. All bets are off. It's time to go get some donuts. That's haste. That is a willingness to leave everything behind for the sake of this goal that you have in mind, not wasting any time, making this the most important thing that you're setting your attention on, that you're setting your mind on. That is haste, and that's what the shepherds did. I mean, it seems likely that they left the sheep in the field as they went and found Jesus lying in a manger. They weren't concerned with their number one responsibility in that moment to take care of sheep. They wanted to see the Savior who had been born. So they ran to see him. And it seems so appropriate to me during a season where there's a whole lot of haste for a lot of different things, good things. I mean, we have Christmas cookies to bake, and we have gifts to purchase and exchange between family members, and we have trips to make to go and see family, or we have arrangements to make for family to come and stay with us. We want to make sure that our kids have a good time. We want to get pictures with Santa Claus and get family photos and holiday cards sent out. We have all these things that are on the to-do list that we're trying to check off and get done. And what we really need to make haste to do is sit at the feet of Jesus. It's counterintuitive to us. It doesn't make sense. I mean, out of everything that we have to do today, this seems like the last thing that we would have time for. But it should be the first thing that we have time for. It should be of utmost importance to us to sit at the feet of Jesus, because we're not just talking about a baby being born in a manger. We're talking about a baby who would be the Savior that would die on a cross for us. See, the message to the shepherds was good news because it was the news of our good shepherd. It was the news of a Savior being born, the one who would fulfill the prophecies. That's who we need to make haste to see today. Out of everything else you do today, may Jesus be at the center. I even think about the nativity scene and how all the characters in the nativity scene are pointed at Jesus. That's what I want us to do today. We have all these other people around us that are important, but Jesus is of utmost importance. So let's put our attention and our focus on him. I would challenge you as a family to read through Luke chapter 2, verses 1 through 20. Read that out loud as a family together and talk about what it must have been like to be the shepherds and see these angels. Talk about what it must have been like for Mary and Joseph to have their baby born in a stable and for Jesus to be laid in a feeding trough. Talk about what that must have been like as a family. And I know you've got a lot to do, and I know you've got things that are good things for you to take care of. But make sure this is of utmost importance for you. Let's celebrate Jesus together. And I am wishing for and praying for a Merry Christmas for you and your family. I'm praying that God would continue to bless you. I'm praying that He would be at the center of your lives, and that He would fill your lives with the joy and peace and satisfaction and abundance that only Jesus Christ can provide. I love you all. I'm thankful for you all. And once again, Merry Christmas.